Hey everybody, Chuck Holton here. If you're like me, you've noticed that there is an alarming increase in mob violence across the country, and not just in inner city America, not just in places like Portland or Baltimore or Detroit, but sometimes in neighborhoods just like this one. And I've been putting together notes for years about how to counter and protect yourself against mob violence. I've used some very obscure military manuals that I found, and I've adapted them for civilian use. And you should get this book. It's called Death of Civilization. Here's a little bit more about what this book tells you. I was down there taking video, taking pictures, dressed in civilian clothes, just like everybody else, just like all the other press that were down there.
Film the cops, not the protesters. Film the cops, not the protesters. Film the cops, not the protesters.
And all of a sudden, about four guys, little punks from Antifa, came and kind of surrounded me and started like trying to step on my toes and stuff. And every time I went to take any video, they would block my camera with their arms. And I'm like, what's up? And they're like, we know you're a cop. What agency are you with? And I'm like, guys, I'm not a cop. I'm a journalist. And they're like, yeah, we don't believe you. And I'm like, dude, I'm an old fat guy. Like, what are you talking about? Do I really look like a cop with this? Does that look like a cop? And they're like, well, you're undercover. We know it, and you need to leave. So, you know, a situation like that, as much as my ego wants to get in the way, because you know, a 120-pound punk is trying to push me around, tell me what to do. It's almost, no, not almost. It's actually hilarious, because I was there with a good friend of mine that I hadn't seen in a long time, and he came and hung out with me. He was in Delta Force for 9 years, and he's a jiu-jitsu instructor. He's probably killed more guys than all four of those guys surrounding us have kissed in their entire lives. And that's probably putting it mildly. If they had any idea the caliber of people that they were dealing with, they probably would have thought twice about it. And it's one of those things that you think, well, I could show them. I could show them what a mistake they're making, but is it really worth that? I mean, what's that going to accomplish? I'm here to do a job, which is to get video footage and report on what's going on. It's a big area down there. If they didn't want me filming around where they were, fine, I'll go film somewhere else. So I practiced Run Fu. Thank you, John Correa, for teaching me how to do that. And I just said, all right, guys, no problem. And I backed off and went somewhere else. So a little bit later, I'm talking about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, the police, well, the federal police finally decided that, okay, it was time for these guys to go to bed. And they, what they had been doing is the Antifa punks would come out and attack the courthouse. They'd try to knock down the fence. They'd, make a big mess. They'd throw fireworks and set things on fire and try to burn down the courthouse. And then when it actually looked like they might be successful at that, the federal agents would come out and would put a stop to it. And they would throw tear gas, flashbangs, and shoot pepper balls to push back the protesters to the point where they could get out there safely and put out the fire. Now, you understand, these protesters, look, the federal agents are using great restraint, obviously using less than lethal munitions, but the protesters are not restrained at all. And they literally, I have no doubt in my mind, they literally would murder these federal agents if they thought they could do it, if they could figure out a way to do it, they would murder them, without a doubt. So it's serious for these federal agents to be out there. It's a big deal. So the agents have got to push them back, or else these guys will use their green lasers and try to blind some more of them. That's already happened to several of these agents. They will employ very large fireworks and try to kill somebody. I mean, somebody's going to get killed with one of those things. I have no doubt that's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And so once they push back the protesters, they come out, they put out the fires, they turn around and go right back in. They're not staying out there. Well, 3 o'clock in the morning, they decided it was time for the protesters to go to bed, and all of the federal agents came out. There were quite a few more than I thought there were. Probably somewhere, maybe over 100 of them. I mean, a lot. And they pushed those guys several blocks away from the federal courthouse. Once that happened, I had already gone up to my hotel room, but I went back and just started to film again. As soon as I started filming again, somebody yelled, "He's a cop! He's a cop!" Like, I'm not again. Seriously, again? I'm gonna have to put up with this "he's a cop" nonsense.
Who are you even with? Who are you even with?
These protesters and these radical leftist groups, they've got to have somebody to attack all the time. They've always got to be attacking somebody. And so they don't want to defund the police. They want to become the police. They want to be the police. They want control, to exercise control, and they have no authority except that which is ceded to them or abdicated to them by the leadership of this city and many cities across America.